Coming up on Mountain News this morning, a 17-year-old girl was hospitalized after a house party in Laurel County. We'll tell you what happened. Plus, we talked to people who came together in Harlan yesterday to try and stop the effects of drugs in our region. And the heat pump at the animal shelter in Perry County has been unreliable for nearly 5 years, but a grant is changing that.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning. The time is 5:31 on December 3rd. I'm Madison Pergram, and thank you for joining us on Mountain News this morning. Well, yesterday was a roller coaster day for weather. I mean, a lot of people saw snow. I said flakes. He said a snowfall, and it was a snowfall. Let's go to Brandon Robinson. Brandon, what are we going to see today?
Listen, I hope we see just a few flakes early this morning and then things start to clear out. But of course, when you've got upslope involved and northwest winds still blowing all that in here, possibilities for lingering issues could be around. We are seeing some flurries, maybe a brief snow shower in some areas this morning. It started to kind of taper off, at least to what we can see on satellite radar, but still around. We're also seeing some snow-covered roads, including US 119 up on top of Whitesburg Pine Mountain. It's getting a little bit better. Well, no, actually it's not. Looked like it was getting a little bit better there at times. And US 23, that camera is down, but we did get a picture in from over there showing conditions pretty rough on Jenkins Pound Mountain on the Kentucky side. So keep that in mind. Temperatures below freezing in most locations. A couple of spots, Moorhead, Ashland, Hazard, and Jacksboro, just above freezing there. So again, keep that in mind. Thankfully, most of our areas in the valleys didn't see a whole lot of snow, but anywhere on those bridges, anywhere that was wet yesterday, could still be seeing a little bit of issue this morning with some slick spots. Be careful of that. Just a couple of degrees colder than it was this time yesterday morning. This morning, a little extra on the coffee meter. And as we take a look at our appcast, you'll see that conditions should improve the deeper into the day we get, especially temperature-wise. We get up to about 40 today, and hopefully some late-day sunshine will make its presence known. I'll have the rest of that forecast coming up here in just a little bit. Madison?
Thank you, Brandon. Well, the coast-to-coast winter storm is expected to wind down today, but not before dumping as much as 30 inches of snow in parts of upstate New York and more than 2 feet in neighboring states. Massachusetts is expecting another round right in time for the morning commute. CBS's Mark Liverman reports from New York City.
The giant winter storm that lumbered across the U.S. this holiday weekend is delivering its latest blow in the Northeast. Some residents in Albany, New York had to dig out twice.
Even though I shoveled out last night, the way to get out, but I'm buried again.
The snowfall made for a pretty picture at Onondaga Park in Saratoga. And these kids in Connecticut took advantage of the free outdoor entertainment. But the storm knocked out power on this block in Livingston, New Jersey.
The power line is underneath the tree, so we're just waiting for someone to come and fix it.
Mother Nature also complicated air travel in the Northeast after days of difficulty elsewhere. More than 14,000 flights were delayed in the last 48 hours. 1,700 others were canceled.
It's just one of those things. It's weather, it's winter, it's something we got to expect.
Here in New York City, the Department of Sanitation is focused on salting roads as the storm moves out of this area and toward the coastal Northeast. The heaviest snow in Massachusetts is expected in the morning hours as the commute gets underway. Boston canceled school for Tuesday.
Do ask employers to consider allowing folks, if they can, to work from home if it's appropriate.
Maine's mid-coast could see another 6 to 12 inches of snow overnight. Public Works trucks are set to operate through the night to clear the roads. Mark Liverman, CBS News, New York.
Now to some local news. A 17-year-old girl was hospitalized after a house party in Laurel County. Officials say the girl was under the influence of alcohol and cocaine and claimed she was physically assaulted at the party. Officials arrested 21-year-old Blake Spa for introducing the girl to cocaine and underage drinking. They say they suspect the drugs and alcohol caused her to have seizure-like symptoms.
While she was en route to the hospital, she apparently had some type of a seizure or some type of a medical event of some sort. That's why the individuals that were transporting her took her to the local hospital.
Officials are still investigating the possible assault of the teenager. She's being charged with public intoxication as well. And yesterday, there was a delay in Laurel County murder case. Court officials tell us prosecutors and defense attorneys are discussing a potential plea agreement for Michael Paul Collier. He's accused of shooting and killing his father-in-law. 2 others were injured, and there's a status hearing scheduled for next Wednesday, the 11th. Collier faces murder and assault charges. And also in Laurel County, deputies arrested a man after a foot chase. Deputies say they saw 44-year-old David Smith, who was apparently intoxicated, walking in the roadway. When he saw the deputies, he allegedly ran into the woods nearby. Deputies followed for about a half mile, and they say when they caught up with Smith, he tried to fight them. Smith is charged with public intoxication, evading police, and resisting arrest. He's being held in the Laurel County Correctional Center. And experts say one of the worst places hit by the drug epidemic is right here in eastern Kentucky. WYMT's Hannah Reynolds talks to people who came together in Harlan yesterday to try and stop the effects of drugs in our region.
The drug epidemic is a battle police face every day. The hardest hit might be the kids.
This right here is what always comes back to my mind. This is a drug raid we'd done years ago, and as you can see right here is a meth generator. And it has a combination of very dangerous chemicals. And as you see, it's surrounded by baby food.
Nancy Hale, the CEO of Operation Unite, says the solution comes down to 3 pillars in the program.
Law enforcement, that's the UNI, Unlawful Narcotics Investigations, T, treatment, and E, education.
All working together on the same goal, to prevent abuse of drugs and to help addicts recover. That mindset is what brought people from across the region together at the Harlan County Drug Summit on Monday.
All of us are here because we want to be part of the solution, not part of the problem. Every family has been impacted directly or indirectly, as we have seen.
By coming together,
hope is alive, and every life is valuable and worth saving.
They hope the end of the drug epidemic is possibly within sight. In Harlan County, Hannah Reynolds, WYMT Mountain News.
If you need more information about how to get help or to cope with the effects of addiction, you can call the Unite hotline at 1-833-8KY-HELP. And in Perry County, the heat pump at the Kentucky River Regional Animal Shelter has been unreliable for nearly 5 years, making it hard to complete everyday tasks. But that all changed when they received a grant from Love 120 to purchase a new pump to provide more comfort for animals. Allie Mullins works at the shelter. She says the unreliable heat pump made their jobs tougher.
When the heater goes down, we take the puppies and kittens that are small and take them to our house. So it gets hectic when it's really cold.
The Kentucky River Regional Animal Shelter was only one of 3 shelters in the state to receive the grant. And while you are driving through Floyd County on US 23, you may have noticed some construction near the Johnson County line. Closed for the past year, the old commercial vehicle weigh station has sat vacant until now. A construction company is working to build a new facility, and WYMT's Marianne Fletcher shows us how this could have benefit drivers.
It is a long time coming.
Absolutely, I'm excited.
The weigh station near the Floyd and Johnson County line is getting a makeover.
The whole front of it will be glassed where we can see the trucks enter the facility and exit, as opposed to what we have right now. Once we're inside, we can't technically even see them.
These improvements will help commercial vehicle enforcement officers like Jamie Collins in more ways than one.
We'll be able to man it a lot more. It'll actually be more efficient in observing for violations.
Plus better weight monitoring, making it easier to hold businesses accountable.
And actually, we'll also be looking for tax violations for companies that are not paying their taxes.
But what does that mean for the average driver like me and you?
It all goes back to highway safety.
So far this year, we have seen 724 fatal crashes on Kentucky highways. That is an increase from 658 in 2018.
The heavier the truck is, the longer it takes for the truck to stop.
Needless to say, this weigh station plays a big role in highway safety.
Well, I do know that this is the only one on US 23 in Kentucky,
working to keep all drivers safe. In Floyd County, Marianne Fletcher, WYMT Mountain News.
The new weighing facility is expected to be finished in May of 2020. And coming up, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, but maybe not for long. We will explain straight ahead.
The forecast will finally start to improve for a few days after today. I'll break it down for you in about 3 minutes.